tromboncino, a bit like a chocolate cake after a Sunday dinner. It can all be a bit too much. I don't even like cabbage. Hello everyone, welcome back to another allotment vlog. My name's Emma. This is my allotment, but I'm currently hiding inside the shed because it's a bit drizzly. If you're new here, hi, I'm Emma. I have an allotment plot. It's my second season, first season where I've got an idea of what I'm doing. Last year it was kind of wing it and hope for the best. We're learning. Is what we're doing. And if you like gardening, if you like allotments, if you like silliness, do subscribe. You might enjoy us. Or feel free to watch the video and make a decision at the end. It's up to you, it's a free country. Anyway, we're back at the allotment. It's Bank Holiday Monday and I was supposed to spend all day here, but I got distracted by the home garden. So you can watch the weekend vlog for that. I started planting loads of bedding plants. Anyway, so it's actually the afternoon. So I've got less time here than I would like. And of course, as soon as I turned up to the gate, it started raining. It is quite sunny, but there seems to be showers. So I might have to run and hide in the shed / the greenhouse / the poly at some point and do some inside jobs. It is very windy also. We've had high winds the last couple of days. I think it's to do with the temperature change, the rain, the wind, the hot and cold. I don't really know, but it's very windy. So, but the polytunnel is still standing, which is great news. And all of the stuff I planted out in last time's video is doing fine, which is amazing. No slugs. What the hell? Even though it rained a couple of days ago overnight and last night it rained. So the ground is happy. The plants are happy, but still no slugs. Wonderful news. Anyway, today we are going to carry on planting out. What else would we do in May? You got to plant out. It's lots of stuff to get out. So we're going to plant out the pumpkins and the squash today. And also, what else have I got? More sweet corn. We've got some onions and leeks and stuff that could probably go out. So yeah, we're just going to carry on planting out. We've got more brassicas. Did I need more brassicas? No. Have I got more brassicas? Yes. So yeah, we're going to carry on the plant out mission and just get on with it really. We've got a few little tidying up jobs to do as well. And we've got to water the polytunnel, can't forget that. But yeah, other than that, it's all looking pretty good. This time compared to last year, God, my brain broken. At this point in the year compared to the same time last year, such a difference. I've been looking at my phone of all the pictures and videos I took last year and it's just astonishing, the difference. I can't believe how well the plants are doing. I think last year obviously it was Sluggergeddon, so you just couldn't plant anything out, and if you did it got eaten, and then it was so wet things rotted off and oh, it was awful. But this year, brilliant. Total change. This is what gardening's supposed to feel like, I think. But yeah, let's get to planting out. We've got so much to do. I think I'll get the pumpkins out first because they are really suffering in their little pots in the greenhouse. So they could do with going outside. So let's get pumpkins out. It's pumpkin season, guys. I'm so excited. If you don't know, I really love pumpkins. I love spooky season. I really love spooky season. I'm trying to grow pumpkins, but last year, because of all the reasons I just mentioned, they didn't really grow. I think I got about 2 that were about this big, tiny little miniature ones. So I'm going for the giants this year. So let's get that planted out, and I'm going to do something a little bit different with my giant pumpkins. So we'll see if it works. We'll do a bit of a test. Anyway, let's go plant some pumpkins. Woo woo, pumpkin time. Oh, it's so windy. You might blow over. I hope you don't, because the camera is broken off as it is. Right, so we've already prepared this bed. This bed has had a mixture of compost, rabbit manure, all sorts on, and it's in quite good nick actually, and it's one of the biggest beds we've got, so I think it'll be quite good for squash. The idea with the squash is I'm sort of just going to let them trail on the wood chip paths because we've not got a big pumpkin patch, but they can go on the wood chip paths, that's fine. And yeah, hopefully this bed will be nice and nutrient rich because squash are very hungry, apparently. I wouldn't know because I've never successfully grown one, but apparently they're quite hungry. So we've got 8 here. I think I'm being a bit optimistic putting 8 in this bed, but as I said, they can hopefully just trail on the paths. And I'll talk through the varieties. So we've got a Crown Prince. This gets really big. I've seen Monty Don do these. So I've got a Crown Prince, which is a biggie, and I've also got a 100-weight pumpkin, which is another biggie. So I'll do those at opposite ends. And then we've got a gourd, a green gourd, RIP green gourd. If you know, you know. If you don't, go back and watch all the videos and you'll know the lore behind this. But we've got a redemption green gourd. That'll go there. We've got a butternut squash. What are you? Honey bear squash. Ficta, which is a bit like uchikikuri. Turk's turban, uchikikuri, and 100-weight. So I'm going to plot these out where they're going to go. As I said, I'm giving them a nice wide berth between them in this nice big bed. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. I will be popping, oh my God, I'm just crawling all over the floor. I wonder why I've got a bruise all over my knees. I'm going to be popping a few chicken pellets just at the base of the planting hole, mixed with a bit of compost at the bottom, just to give them a bit of a head start. I do think this might encourage the foxes, but pumpkins need the nutrients, so it's probably worth it. I might try and create some sort of, I don't know, I probably can't do anything against the foxes, to be honest. Let's just hope and pray. Yeah, this soil is so nice. It's really nice now it's rained. The ground is actually workable, which is amazing. First lot of squash are in. I have got spares of all of these, like I've got duplicates, but I might leave those in the greenhouse just in case the worst should happen, and then I can swap them out just in case. I just don't trust that I'll have a squash. I've been burnt before. So but yeah, this soil feels really nice actually, so hopefully the squash will be nice and happy in here, and they should be happier than in the greenhouse at least. Now I've got some squash that I'm going to grow upwards, well, let's move over and I'll tell you about them. So I've got this archway, which is right in the middle, and this is the one I'm going to try and grow my tromboncino up. And they are very big and very heavy. I've only ever seen them on the internet, I've never grown one. But they're very big and very heavy, so I'm deciding whether I can be arsed to faff around with putting some netting up, because I fear that it might have a better time trying to grow up that than it would just string. Although, oh, the rain. Are we going to have to do an inside job? Come on, rain. I don't know, I hate netting, and I feel like this is just going to be a complete faff to take off at the end of the year, because I swap around what I do on my archways. So I might just do string like I did last year, and hope that they can grow up that. Ideally I'd have some nice jute like rope netting, but it's quite expensive and we don't have the funds at the moment, so we're just going with what we've got. I think we'll just use rope. Why differ from what we know, hey? Why differ? I've done it like mostly to the top, and if they get past that stage then I'll put the effort into doing the string the whole way up, but I don't know if they'll make it, so I'm not going to waste the energy now. Right, I'll do the same on the other side because I've got 2 plants, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Come on, rain. I've got stuff to do any other day, or do it overnight. That'd be ideal. I've got stuff to do today, not got time to deal with rain. You know, I've got to put some thought into this, because if you're growing vertically, you've got to grow with the plant, like how the plant wants to grow. Does that make sense? Probably not. I don't usually. And I think it's opposite to the first set of leaves. It feels like it wants to grow that way. See, these are quite established, so I've already got quite a good idea of where they want to go. So we'll try it like that. Like that, exactly like that. This soil is slightly less nutrient dense, so we'll just have to see how they get on. It has had compost on it in the past, but it's not freshly mulched this year, and I've not got any mulch to put on it, although we might have some horse manure that's rotted. Let me just quickly have a look if we've got any horse manure. I don't know why I've decided to just do this with my bare hands. Maybe a bucket might be better, but we have actually got some well-rotted horse manure at the bottom of the heap, so I'm going to mix some of that in with the, you know, with the soil just to help it out a bit. Let me get a bucket, that'd be sensible. Okay, now I wouldn't recommend using manure with like brassicas or like baby seedlings like lettuce or anything like that, because look at me trying to be professional and then I just whack my head on the archway. Because it can burn the plant roots, it can be too rich for them. A bit like a chocolate cake after a Sunday dinner. It can all be a bit too much. But pumpkins, squash, anything really big tend to enjoy the richness of the manure. So I'm just digging a bigger hole than I would have bothered to if I was just planting it into the dirt, but because I'm adding stuff, I'll do it a bit deeper. Right. Hopefully that will continue to grow upwards towards the arch. Tromboncinos are a really good climber, so it should know what to do itself. I shouldn't have to tell it very much. And then I'll just tie it in. Oops, I just broke a leaf. Should go up there, so I'll do exactly the same on the other side, although I have got to compete with the lettuces I planted. What a silly sausage. But yeah, I'll just do exactly the same and hope that they grow up all the way to the top. We're carrying on the squash planting frenzy day. Up these two, I've got my Jack Be Little and my Baby Boo pumpkins, and they're miniature pumpkins that are really suited to climbing. And these are the only ones I got anything from last year. I got lots of very tiny pumpkins that were very cute actually, and I actually made one into my pumpkin display. I did like a little, anyway, it was cute, but they can be bigger and you can technically eat them, I think, if they get big enough. Mine didn't. So I'm going to try them again. Is this the same place? It might be the same place, you know, but rotation-ish. That's what I'm going for. And I'm going to do 2 of these over each side. I don't think that'll be too crowded. I think that'll be fine. So let's get these in. Also, I'm not doing any weeding because I did it all the other day. When I said I was going to finish filming and just stay and weed, I actually stayed for about 2 hours and weeded the entire plot. So that's what I spent my day doing. But yeah, it does mean that now I can come and don't have to weed because it's all nice and sorted for me. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the manure and the chicken pellets because, again, although this was mulched in previous years, last year, it's not been mulched recently, so I'll just give it a bit of a helping hand. don't know if you can hear, but it's raining on the greenhouse and it sounds quite nice actually. It's quite relaxing. The wind whipping through is slightly less relaxing, but the rain sounds quite nice. Anyway, I'm hot, sorry, decardiganed. I've got an inside job, which is good because obviously it do be raining. I've got this pot of onions that I never potted up because I just forget about these things. So I'm going to do that now. I've got salad onion. Oh, they don't need potting up really, salad onions, do they? They can go, maybe they can go in between the carrots, but these are, oh, spring onion. Oh. So the only ones I actually need to pot up are onion Rinsberger. The rest are spring onions, which I can put straight out. Oh, well that is fantastic news because I hate potting up, you know me. Oh, I've just got a tray. These are my container-wise plastic cell trays and they're fantastic. The link is always in my description for those. But yeah, right, I'm just going to do a bit of potting up with those, and then I've got some lettuces that can be potted up, bits and bobs, basically until it stops raining. I'm tempted to just give the roots a trim. I've seen you can do that with leeks. I'm hoping you can do it with onions. They're all much for muchness, aren't they? Just give the roots a trim and I pop them in. I hope I've not done that wrong. Otherwise, all these onions will die. Also, I've never done onions from seed before, so I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I'm assuming I am. How wrong can you go planting onions up? Do you know what I mean? How wrong can it go? So these are going to be for like autumn consumption and winter storage. I've got my overwintering onions from sets that are in the ground. And some from seed, but the ones from sets are doing much better. So they'll be for like harvesting in June time, maybe. And then these will hopefully take us through autumn and winter. Although I've never done it before, so I could be talking out my arse. You tell me. You all know. You all have much better ideas than I do about these things. It's still raining, so I'm going to carry on potting on. I've done my tray of onions. I also gave them a little haircut just to neaten them up a bit. They were getting a bit topply. So they are done. I'm going to put on this pot of successionally sown lettuce. And then ideally, if I had the seeds with me, I'd sow some more. But I don't, so I can't. But yeah, I'm going to pot these up so I've got some lettuces to go out in a couple of weeks. And then hopefully that'll keep me topped up on lettuce. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. Don't quote me, I'm not an expert. She says. I'm trying to be quite, what's the word, educational in this video. I don't know why I'm pretending I know what I'm doing. I don't. But yeah, I'm just going to carry on potting on. What I have been doing is anything I've got spare, like this one singular chard, I'm going to put it on our allotment WhatsApp group that I've got a spare, and then someone can just come in my greenhouse and take it. It is okay, and I've also done that with the spare onions, just to be a kind human, you know? Right, let's pot on lettuce, my favourite job in the whole wide world. Don't you just love potting on? No, is the answer. No, I do not. Whoa, how am I meant to pot that on? That's got a massive root system. Bro. Bro. This is the biggest tray I've got as well. Okay. Great. God's sake. You're not going to squeeze in there, are you? I've just filled up this tray. You're going to have to go in. Squeezing. I know that totally defeats the purpose of potting on, but that guy was too far ahead. It's still raining, by the way. I'm just getting on with it. Stuff's got to go. So I have just put some compost on this bed, mixed it in. It's not a proper mulch. It did have a proper mulch last year. I'm not made of money, can't afford to get compost all the time, so this is what we're doing. And I've got more brassicas, so we've got 1, 2, 3 brassica beds, which is a lot of brassica beds. And this is mainly going to be cabbage, to be honest. I don't even like cabbage, but here we are. So we've got, what varieties? Oh, and some sprouts, but I don't really know where to put my sprouts. I've got 2 sprout plants remaining. It's not going to be the sprout abundance that we had last Christmas. Not this year. Wheeler's Imperial, Golden Acre, Calibos, Red Drumhead, and then some sprouts and some purple sprouting broccoli. I'm going to do my sprouts and purple sprouting broccoli last. If I have to put them in this bed, I will, if we've got space, but because they get so big, they need like proper planning for supporting. So I've also got some red Russian kale that I'd prefer to put in here, because then everything will be the same height rather than having one thing massive. But yeah, we'll see how we get on there, just in case I've got spare room. Let's plant all the cabbage that I love so much, you know? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know if you can hear or see, but it is now raining quite heavily. So I had loads more to do today, but the weather has decided for me of what I can do, and it's telling me to go home. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, Sam's finished a bit early, so we can spend a bank holiday evening together, which will be quite nice. As I said, I've not got as much done as I wanted to. I wanted to plant out more sweet corn, I wanted to plant out some onions and some leeks, but I guess you just have to do whatever you can do, can't you? Sometimes the weather is not on your side, but we did get all the pumpkins out, which is absolutely fantastic, and they're being watered in by the sky, so that's good. I'm gonna have to run around and tidy up as quickly as I can, because yeah, the weather is rancid and I'm just going to get soggy, so I'll leave it for now. Thank you for watching today's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed watching me plant out all my pumpkins. Let me know if you've planted out your pumpkins yet, and what varieties you've got, so I know for next year. And yeah, leave a little rain cloud emoji, because although I am very thankful for the rain, it is annoying when you've got stuff to do, I must say. But yeah, leave a little rain cloud emoji, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Check out the weekend vlogs, check out the playlist where we started this plot from the beginning. See you next time. Bye. Love you.